Artists create still lifes by arranging a group of objects and then drawing or painting them. We're going to draw glass vessels that look translucent. Translucent means they're clear, and where two overlap, we will mix to make a new color. Color terms to review are the primary colors, the secondary colors, intermediate colors, which are made by an uneven amount of a primary and a secondary, and tertiary colors made by mixing two secondaries. First, let's review how to make a vase shape that looks symmetrical, which means the same on both sides. You're going to draw half of the vase along the fold. After drawing half of the vase against the fold, you're going to cut it out with your paper closed so that that line copies to the other side. When you open it up, you'll have a line of symmetry down the center. Okay, now it's time to arrange our vase or vessel shapes within the composition of our paper. On the top left of the video is a checklist. These things will help us get our drawings just right so we are ready to paint. The first item on the checklist says that the first vase goes off the paper. Notice that just a little more than half is showing, the other side is off the paper. Next, the sides of your vase or vessel should overlap. Make sure the shape in between the two vessels is big enough so that you can paint a new color where both vases meet. When we overlap today, we can draw right over top of the vase next to it. They will both appear to be clear or translucent. Now it's showing a variety in height and width, and sometimes you'll want to switch out the vases to see how they look next to each other. Vases lower on the paper, near the bottom, will appear closer to you. Vases that are higher on the paper or farther up will appear farther away. As you trace your vases, remember to leave nice size shapes in between. That's where we're going to try color mixing. And then also remember to keep your vases pretty straight. The last thing on the checklist says your last vase also goes off the edge of the paper. This ensures that we've filled our space and we're ready to paint. Have fun arranging the vessels of your composition. Prepare the lid of your paint tray, which is where you'll mix colors, with a wet brush. Scrub the paint like a mop and then wipe it away with your towel. In this first example, I chose to only use primary colors. I chose a pattern of red, yellow, blue, red, yellow, blue. After I painted the vessels, I mixed colors. I'm going to speed up the video so you can see the vases all finished, and then we're going to get to the color mixing part. Okay, time to mix colors. As you know, watercolor needs to be wet a little bit to make it work. If your color ever looks like it is mixed, you can take a paper towel and then just gently dab the puddle to freshen it up. That way you keep your colors clean as you're painting. When mixing two primaries, it is really helpful to start with a lot of the lightest of the two colors. We can see that yellow is lighter than red, and that's why I had about 3 parts yellow. To get it off my brush, I dabbed it onto the lid and pressed the paint. But look, there was only one dab of red. One tiny little dot turned it into orange. When you're painting, try to keep the color near the middle of the shape at first and slowly work your way to the edge. That way you can control the amount of water and the water doesn't start running all over the shape really fast. If you ever make a mistake, you can try to dab it with your paper towel before it goes everywhere. All right, yellow and blue. Looks like yellow is brighter than blue. So I want to start with 2 or 3 parts yellow and then only 1 dip of blue. See how just this one little dip makes a really bright green? If you press your brush lightly, you will have a skinny line. If you press your brush more firmly or hard, you'll have a thicker line. Okay, time to try mixing purple with blue and red. In this case, we would want about equal parts blue and red. Mix until you get the desired color that you like. In this case, I used primary red with blue, but sometimes I like to use magenta with blue because it makes a brighter purple. Okay, time to speed up the video so we can cover other colors to make in my next example. Plan ahead and think about which ones you'll want to use. Okay, so in that first example, I only mixed primary colors to make the secondary colors. In this next example, I'm going to make intermediate colors. These are when you have an uneven amount of a primary and a secondary. In this case, I made some red, orange. I tried a red violet, and then I made a blue violet. And in the last example, I tried green with blue for a blue-green. Continue washing and drying your lid so you have a new place to mix colors. When you're finished, let your art dry, and then you can cut around the outside of your vase shapes, but make sure to leave the vases attached. Making corners can be tricky, so sometimes I just make easy cuts first and I go around the outside edge and then I come back in and get those little white spots. Remember to just go slow. The video is sped up so that it can show you faster. When you're all finished, glue your table down to a background. After you glue the table shape, put your vases on top. When using glue, touch the tip to the paper as you drag it along, kind of like a paintbrush. I hope you enjoyed this fun project where we explored shape, composition, and color mixing.